Well, hello there all, Retro Rob here, and welcome to Retro Modern, where everything new is old again. Today we're taking a look at Demonborg Mining Company. And I guess it's what you call either like an auto shooter or a survivor style game. But it does have a retro twist, both in its graphics that are kind of 8 to 16 bitty. Yeah, I said bitty. What you gonna say about it? Anything? I didn't think so. I'm changing my name to Rob Biddy. Ro Biddy. I'll still put the 0 in there to really screw up my numbers. Where was I? What were we talking about? Demonborg Mining Company. Yeah, its graphics are 8 to 16-bit style, but it's the sound that makes it retro modern to me. The sound, it is Apple II Gold. It is. It's amazing. I don't know why I did this. Don't. But anyway, it is Apple II Gold. This sounds you are gonna love if you like that style of sound effects. Yeah. Demonborg Mining Company. Demonborg Mining Company is a unique roguelite about mining the insides of giant demon cyborgs with your auto-firing turret-loaded drill drone. Say that 3 times fast. Took me 3 takes. Anyway, release date is upcoming still. Developed and published by... Is that Ouchgiver? Ouchgiver Games. It's an action roguelite, which we already know. Let's see, anything else to say about it? It has unknown Steam Deck compatibility. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck, so... that's good, right? Anyway, no price yet, so hang in there. I'll put a link to it down below. I of course already have it because I was sent a key for review. That's right. By Keymailer. Keymailer. It's where keys come from. They just paid me $1,000 for that. Nope. All right, let's do some Demonborg mining. Start with a new game here. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck. If I didn't mention that earlier. New game. Okay, so here's some weird stuff. Unlocks don't happen from the main menu. And I'm talking about the permanent unlocks. They happen at the beginning of a run, which is... I mean, it's a little odd, you know, if you ask me. Which you kind of did by watching the video. I mean, you didn't directly ask me, but, you know. It's assumed. Somebody complained about the fact that I don't actually tell you whether a Fanatical bundle's worth it or not. It's because you're supposed to make up your own mind. Like everything on this channel, you're supposed to make up your own mind. I tell you my opinion, but I don't state things as facts that aren't. You know? Yeah. I like people to decide whether they like things for themselves. I think the world's full of people that just, I don't know, follow. Anyway, what am I talking about? Demonborg. I'm going to upgrade some drops here. Go back. I can upgrade my Oxbot, which he's pretty upgraded now. I would say that I recommend probably upgrading your Oxbot first, because at the beginning you're pretty vulnerable all the time, and this is probably the best bang for the buck you can do at the beginning. Just so you know. Then there's some turrets. Man, there's a lot of turrets. And I've got a lot of them unlocked here. There we go. Let's see. What do we got? The fuel siphon, not very interesting. Corrosive trap, sledge trap. Hidden blade. Sniper beam, that looks kind of interesting. There's something to mess with. Can I unlock that? Oh, I can't. I gotta get to a higher security level. Darn, but anyway, you can unlock these. I've unlocked quite a few already. In fact, I would say of the games that I've covered recently, I've probably played this one more than any of them. This game, it just fits with me, you know? You know how every once in a while you find a game and it just kind of, it's your kind of thing? Um, so one thing is your first weapons here. We'll do that one. They're kind of super important because if you get bad stuff at the beginning, it's going to ruin your entire run. All right, here we go. First Demonborg. Let's take a pause a second, and I'm going to disappear. Boy, I wish I would have planned this better. Is it? Wait for it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to disappear for a second and show you some things. Across the bottom, you see the yellow box and the blue box, and then the thing that looks like a coin. These are the minerals you mine plus the coins that you gain, or the copper you gain off of killing enemies. So if you look at, actually copper occasionally comes from other places too. But anyway, the yellow one is the most frequently found. The blue one is more difficult to locate. So if you see blue, always mine it. Don't worry, mining is just running into it. And then the coins, you want to gather a lot of those. It's a mistake I made early on, is I didn't get enough coins at a time to really help me in between levels. You're gonna see this, okay? You're gonna see it. All right. There's also that pink, the pink one, and the, I guess, purple one below it. I don't do colors good. You know, I actually went to an art grade school, and they found out I wasn't very good at art. Anyway, the pink one, if you get a whole bunch of them and fill up that gauge, it will upgrade your hull and refill it. So repair damage plus upgrade your hull, so it's a little bit tougher. The bottom one fills your fuel. And then you've got the hull and fuel bars. And then on the far right, you have your Demonborg and how far you are. See that yellow line? Once it's at the bottom, you've made it through the whole thing. All right. I like to look up top real quick to see if there's anything useful. And boom, there is. Look at that. Instant. I just got another turret right away. How good is that? That is... I'll answer my own question. It's very good. All right. I can also charge like that. And in the early game, before you're capable of doing much damage, it is a great idea to use this to ram these guys. See that? I ran out of fuel. But if you can ram them and kill them, it's a really good way to make up for your lack of firepower. So definitely do that. Another thing I'm going to mention right away is the map moves down. Try not to stay to the top of the map. Try to stay towards the bottom of where you can go. And the reason for that is sometimes you get stuck in combat or you want to dig some minerals, and it gives you more time to do that. Very often minerals that you want are surrounded by enemies. It just works out that way. Sometimes that's not true, but very often they're surrounded by enemies. So you want to be ready for that. And I'm taking a little bit of hull damage there. Okay, get those blue ones. But I mean, you don't want to skip on the yellow. You don't want to skimp. You want to get it all. That's what I'm saying. You want to get all the minerals, because that is how you upgrade your craft. You can collect fuel as well. And my fuel's almost full, so I'm capable of doing a charging attack at this point. There went a pink one. They're actually a lot more common later on. You'll see a lot of the pink ones, and you definitely do want to collect those as much as you can, because on later Demonborgs, you're going to take more damage. And you want as much hull as you can get. I like these big ones, see? That's good too. Ooh, 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 blew it. That just burnt some fuel. You burn fuel really fast. Fuel is also one of the things I don't tend to upgrade much. If you looked at the beginning of my run when I was telling you about upgrades, you'll notice that I barely upgraded it at all, if at all. And that is because I really didn't understand the importance of it early on. So probably that should be one of your earlier upgrades, not your first, but one of your earlier upgrades, because you definitely want to use your charging ability early on to kill enemies, because your weapons will suck. My weapons right now, they're really good, but when you start out, it's almost insanely frustrating. I mean, it doesn't start out as an easy game. I'm making it look easy because I'm just so epic at gaming. If you're not a regular, you really don't know what a joke that is. But anyway, let's keep going. Keep on digging. So I'm actually doing pretty well right now. There we go. Hit that. And now it's all about the digging. So what I love about this game, it's the sound effects. The sound. Here, I'm going to turn them up a little bit so you can hear it. It sounds like an Apple II game. Not in the bad way. Like in the best way possible. There's this game, I think it was called Nibbler, that sounded a lot like this. Should probably ask the developers if that was an inspiration here or not. Who knows? But it does sound great. I like the sound. Hear that? Oh, I took a hit. There we go. See that? Now I increase my max hull. Yeah, I'm gonna take some damage here. Dang it. Mistakes were made, you know. Alright, now my Demonborg is mined. If you look on the far right, you can see I'm all the way down. Enemies die instantly on spawn after you've mined it, so run around and be reckless. Grab those last minerals before it ends. Okay, so here we are. I've gained 1 unlock token. So I had 3, I now have 4. I've also got upgrade capabilities between rounds, so I don't know why I said also. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to upgrade my bounce shot. Another thing that you might want to do, because early on, I would go to maintain and I would repair my hull because it's pretty cheap to do. However, it is also really cheap to build armor and upgrade your hull. I mean, it's more expensive than just repairing, but right here you can get like a better hull. So it's a great choice to do in between rounds. Another one that I regularly use is build a random turret, especially if I don't like the weapons I have. If I make it to the bottom, which, by the way, bad weapons can really shorten your game. But if I don't like my weapons, I'll sometimes build a random turret and hope I get something good. There. No, I just nearly choked and died. All right, let's get going. Now we can focus a little bit more on... Oh, there's also the black market. You can use tokens to buy things. And this is the big one, of course, a second win. So if you die, you get another chance, which is actually useful if you feel like you're going to have a really good run. Okay, next Demonborg. Do I want to do hard or easy? I'm going to do easy because I'm a wuss. All right, let's do this. All right, the other thing you're really looking for, and oddly, there has not been a lot of them here. Is there should be question marks around, and usually there's a lot of them. I'm not kidding. All right, there we go. Okay, get it. There we go. And those often have, actually, they often have opportunities for you. This is odd because it's giving me a turret, which that, I mean, it does happen, but it's not the most common thing to happen. I've had 2 of them, which is kind of weird. But anyway, everything's random, so you know how it goes. If it happened to be the same as one of these, like it was a bounce shot or a corrosive shot, I can tell it to upgrade, and I can stack it on top and make a stronger weapon. So that's useful, but it's not, so I'm going to install it in my 4th slot. Come on. Oh, there's a bunch. And you really, really, really need to stay on top of mining minerals and getting cash. You really need to do both. Any negligence will eventually cost you the game. I mean, eventually you're going to die, but you're going to die a lot faster. All right, so these are the ones you collect for fuel. See those little purple ones? Or you can collect those. But the other ones are, of course, if I collect a bunch, I get a permanent fuel upgrade plus a full tank of fuel. But you'll notice that I don't actually use it all that much. And that's just later on in the game. I just don't need to use it as much, so it doesn't suit my play style, which is slow and steady. I'm gonna jet the heck out. Oh, wow, way to run right the hell into it. That was good. That was good, right? Okay, so right now I'm gonna look for some more of those pink blocks. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, that's another note. You can't get those question marks if there are enemies around, so you need to eliminate them first. That's another reason to keep yourself towards the bottom of the range instead of the top. All right, a fellow drone pilot is offering you some equipment they found for a price. Do I want to buy it? I don't have enough money right now, but if I did, I'm going to note that you may get something nice or you might get something you don't want, but they also might rip you off. This game can be cruel. It's a cruel mistress is what I'm saying. All right, I just got to drive kind of carefully now and not get myself whooped. So I'll be kind of casual here. Got some more hull. That's good. That helped. There are hull drops. There we go. They look like little wrenches. You'll run into them from time to time. It never seems like you get them often enough. There are some perks that you get with those little question marks that will increase the amount you get, I believe. There's a lot. You're not seeing it here because, as I mentioned, it's kind of we're kind of having an unusual run here, but it's very common to run into perks, and there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of different perks. Come on, there we go. If you can get past the fire hazard ahead, the crashed drone may be worth checking out. All right, I'm gonna try this. It may do hull damage. There's always a chance that I run out of fuel or do hull damage on these, just so you know. Yes. I took hull damage, of course. I do not... I have some runs where I just have the worst luck. But there's also a luck perk that you can get on these, and it will improve your luck when you have those events happen. Which, that's useful, right? I'm right, you know. It's definitely useful. kicking it here. Again, I tend to like to get these blue ones right away. There's also another event over there, so I'm going to go get that. Yeah, I'd rather deal with that. Okay. I'll try to do it. I did it. So I helped him out, and look at that, I got an unlock token. That's a pretty good deal, because it usually takes you an entire Demonborg. I want to call them Demonborgs, but it often takes you an entire Demonborg to get one of those, so that was really nice. Oh, can I get those? Yeah. I'm about to upgrade my fuel capabilities here. By the way, you can be very strategic about upgrading your hull. Very often you may want to wait. Oh, did you see that? You may want to wait to do your upgrade until you're low on hull. However, I will give you one fair warning. That usually when you're low on hull, you don't notice it because you're too busy paying attention to what's on the screen. And then you get your butt kicked. There we go. No, I didn't get it. You see that? I missed an event. And that's because I was way too high up. So I got to go dig down here a little bit. See? And that's how you lose stuff. All right, we've finished the second Demonborg. And we're going to do... it's either going to be one or two more. We'll see. There is... It's not really a boss battle as such, but there is a different kind of screen I want to show you. So let's do our upgrades. And we will use... we'll upgrade the orbiting turret. I feel like I'm getting so much more stuff than what I'm getting, you know? Build. We're going to build hull armor. Again, I want to upgrade my hull. Okay, go back. Yeah, one thing I don't care about, or care for, I don't care for the way this menu works. You can notice, like, I'm just using my analog stick to go around it. It could used to be a little bit more traditional menu. All right, I'm going to use this black market item. I generally don't do it, but I want to make sure that I make it to the point that I want to show you. So just hang in there. Want me to do a hard one? Should I do a hard one? You know what? I'm sorry. I'm being given the chance to have an easy life, and I'm going to take it. Because honestly, I swear that seldom happens. It really seldom happens. I spot some materials in a minefield. Your drone will be damaged if you attempt to retrieve them. See that? I will definitely lose 25 hull if I go for it. I'm not going to. Look at all that damage I'm doing. I'm telling you, for your first freaking 30 runs. Well, actually, if you follow my hints that I mentioned at the beginning, your first 30 runs will be easier than mine. But, man, I did so little damage. You do so little damage at the beginning. All right, anyway. Sludge hazard blocks slow you less. Yeah, you want that no matter what. So I can install this extra. Generally, I'm going to pause this a second. If you look on the top left, you can see what different things you have installed, goodies. Usually by this point, I have a lot of them. I can definitely say that I'm having worse than usual performance here. Clearly, I have some performance anxiety I need to get over, you know? All right, there we go. Ooh, an auto turret. Do I already have one of these? No, I don't. Well, I'm going to scrap it. So I'm going to scrap this, and it should give me some more goodies. Yeah, it did. Good. Again, the blue stuff's precious. Fuel is pretty common on most levels. I don't know, there's been a couple Demonborgs that I've seen that have had very little fuel, but as a general rule, it's pretty abundant. Yeah, let's keep going up. I want those. The weapons just, once they get going, are so good. There we go. There we go. There's what would be a fuel block. It's not really a fuel block. It's just a purple block, but will give you fuel in the end. Over the long term if you collect a bunch of them. There we go. I've already mentioned this. You're getting this twice. There we go. I love the sound effects. I really do. I am not joking around. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, so now I've probably floated up too far. So I'm going to try and go down here a little bit more. There we go. Not a lot of minerals here. I mean, it's not safe. There. Now it is. Very large bot is guarding a deposit of minerals. Do I want to try and mine them? Heck no. No. Nope. Vehicular integrity, meaning your shields or your armor, are the most important thing to keep an eye on in this game. And I generally will not take any one of those missions that has a high risk of me failing and having my shields taken out. Earlier I think I started to talk about these boulders. They can fall on you and crush you. They won't kill you outright, but they'll take down your armor a bit. So try to avoid them. There is a perk that you can get, which will stop them from damaging you. Which, again, another useful perk to get. But I have not been getting perks. Really, I have been just crazy not getting perks in this one. There we go. Come on. Ooh, I like these. All right, there we go. See that guy up there? Yeah, he drops copper. There we go. Ooh, big bunches of copper. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Here we go. More fuel. How's my hull looking? It's looking okay. How far are we on the Demonborg? I try not to look. It's funny how many times I have looked at where I'm at and died immediately afterwards because I was looking and I'm like, I can be a little reckless. I'm almost done. Don't be reckless, because this game will take you out. Even right now, I know I'm making it look like it's kind of easy, but no, if you get things wrong, it'll take you apart in a second. It's not messing around. There we go. Getting to this point took me quite a bit of gameplay. Come on, you. There we go. Another token. Ooh, get that. But I got a lot of money. Take all these. Oh, come on. Oh, I missed them. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to do one last upgrade here. I'm going to upgrade. I think I'm going to upgrade this guy. I follow the same rules that I follow for all this kind of game. all these kinds of games, I tend to like to just upgrade one weapon, one or two weapons, and then bring the other ones up later. That's what seems to work best for me. Build, add some more hull armor. And there we go, I think. All right. And I get no choice. All right, yeah, here's what I was talking about. And we'll wrap things up with this guy. The first time I battled this guy, he utterly kicked my butt. And he probably would if I didn't have a very upgraded drone. Or actually, your machine, I think, is the drone. But anyway, we'll call it the drone for the sake of argument. If I didn't have a very upgraded drone and turrets. Turrets were the first thing that saved my neck against that thing, because if you're only firing dead on, you're gonna die. Seriously, you're just gonna die. All right. So on this level, first you gotta take out the evil eye or whatever the heck that thing is in the middle. But the other thing you have to do is kill a certain number of enemies. And right now we're at 6 left. Now 5. And this is another one where usually there's a whole lot. Yep, there's one. Of events. Okay, so again, what the heck? It's so weird. Usually there are so many events in this game. And they're all different, and a lot of them give you a bunch of different perks. But this has been a minimal perk run, I gotta say. I'm not kidding though. There's scads of them. Scads, I say. Not scabs. I said scads. This guy. I hate this guy. Well, I'm getting hit a lot. All right, yeah. See, he does corrosive damage, and that's a problem. One of the ways I found to deal with these guys is open up an area here, like this, and then bring them out into it. Yep. See how I did damage to him now? I might die here. I might die. This might be it. Nope. Oh, I'm in trouble though. I'm definitely in trouble. What the actual heck is going on with that? All right. There we go. I've done it. Now, definitely what I would want to do here is get that hull armor back. Now I'm ready for the next one. But I think this gives you the basics of what you need to mine your own Demonborg. Yeah, let's wrap things up. And that wraps it for Demonborg Mining Company, as played on the Steam Deck. So what do I like about it? Number one, I like the graphics. They have kind of a Neo Apple II look, maybe even an EGA look, but it's really nice. I also like the way that the enemies stand out against the background. I don't know if I didn't notice whether there was a wide variety of enemies, but it sure feels like there's a wide variety of enemies, especially as you get further on. And it looks and plays well. The other thing that I think really stands out in this game is the sound effects. It has these Apple IIe sound effects that are just wonderful. If you've ever played an Apple II, especially that game Nibbler, it had kind of this chirp, chirp, chirp noise, and this hits it right on the spot. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but boy, it does a great job of reliving the 80s. I really do like that. Gameplay smooth. I love the variety of weapons. There's a whole lot. I still haven't unlocked them all yet, and I've played quite a bit on this one. I think that the gameplay feels very original. There's a lot of Survivor style games out there, but they almost all play. All right, 90% of them play almost exactly alike. This one definitely is something different. It controls different. It plays different. The upgrades are a little bit different. it does a good job of standing aside, or at least standing apart from the other games. And I like that. You know, I like Survivor style, but I also like a little twist on things, and this provides that twist. All right, what do I not like? And I want to make sure I hit everything, so I'm referring to my notes. So sorry about that. I don't like the way that the menus don't use standard controls. You know, like usually, like in a menu, something's selected, and then you move your D-pad down. It's the next selection. This one, I use the right analog stick to point at things. It's not terrible. I know it's a minor complaint, but it would be nice if they'd fix that. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel quite right to me, and it annoys me a little bit. The other thing I do is I move the upgrades menu over to the main menu. I don't know why. It just feels out of order when you start, when you're starting your Demonborg dive and you're going into your permanent upgrades from there. Also, sometimes I'll forget to do it from there, and that's probably maybe it's my memory. Maybe my real annoyance is my memory. I don't know. The other thing I would say is that the early game is probably a little bit too hard. I didn't mind it myself because I like hard Survivor style games. But this one might be a little bit hard. You really feel like you're not doing anything to the enemies in the early game. You can somewhat help yourself by ramming, but I didn't really figure that out until a little bit later. So that little hint might help you with that part. Anyway, this game I believe is $5 on Steam, and in the end, it's just so worth it. It is so worth it. It's a great game. I got it for free, but I'd have been totally happy to have paid the $5 for this one. It's a good one. So thumbs up. I want to thank you very much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Ring that bell. I keep hearing from people that they thought I wasn't posting videos anymore because the bell unchecked by itself. So if you haven't, ring it. If you want to see more of this, because who wouldn't?
But your love, here's our guy, playing games from days gone by. But all his skills, they make us sigh. Put in play, we can't deny. But your love, why the zero in your name? Focus lost, jokes don't lay. But we love you just the same. Retro gaming's his delight, but his focus takes a flight. Bad jokes, they fill the night. Yeah, we watch him, it's alright. It's alright, why the zero in your name? Focus lost, jokes so lame. But we love you just the same. From retarded to Ness, he plays them all, we must confess. Though his skills are not the best, Retro, you passed the test.